In video games, meta refers to strategies, characters, items, or weapons that are currently considered the most effective way for winning. In nearly every competitive game, whether it's League of Legends, Valorant, or any other, there is meta that players follow. This meta consists of the most efficient way to play based on the current state of balance. Maybe it's an overpowered character or weapon that gives player a slight edge, even if it doesn't seem obvious at first. The meta usually reflects which elements in the game are overpowered, and developers often chase a delicate balance to maintain famous. As one gamer put it out, balancing a game can feel like trying to decide between warm or soft, through qualities that don't even lie in the same category. We shall never treat to make the game fair, something else inevitably become stronger or weaker, forcing a meta shift. This need to maintain a fair experience was such a request to find me the challenge for all game designers. When we talk about meta of games, we have to think of mobile games, where complex skill sets, abilities and items create layers of imbalance. But then there is Counter-Strike, a game whose simplicity sets apart in the competitive gaming world. Counter-Strike is probably the simplest of the most popular competitive games. The core mechanics are easy to understand, let's follow for deep mastery, and within about 10 minutes almost anyone can pick up the basics. Unlike MOBAs, which might take weeks or months to fully grasp, Counter-Strike has just a handful of weapons, basic mechanics and smaller maps, and this simplicity is the foundation of its unique meta, or rather, its lack of one. The meta of Counter-Strike is incredibly straightforward, because of how it is designed. Limited options create a magical balance. There's no need of an endless cycle of adjustment to balance every possible skill item. In Counter-Strike, there's no need for the constant patching on often you see in other games. It's about precision, skill, and decision-making within the same handful of tools. Among the game's entire lineup of weapons, there are probably 8 main items that you will rely on the majority of the rounds. That's not just a guess, it's based on the weapons that dominate most matches: the AK-47 rifle for primary rifles, the AWP for snipers, the Mag-10 MP9 for force-buy rounds, and the starting pistols along with roommates barring the decoy. This isn't meta so much as a set of standard players rely on, leaving skill and strategy as the key determinants of who wins or loses. This simplicity and consistency in turn make Counter-Strike feel closer to real sport, where every player is on even playing field without randomized stats or complex equipment differences. One of the reasons Counter-Strike achieves this fair and skill-based experience is because every player has the same movement speed, jump height, and accuracy with standard weapons. It removes almost all in-game advantages that are out of player's control. Unlike games where power spikes or leveling up and create drastic differences in a player's capability, Counter-Strike levels the playing field. It creates the sense that you are computing purely on reaction time, game sense and muscle memory, rather than on items or characters that might temporarily boost your stats. This also puts Counter-Strike in a unique category among games. It's competitive like a sport, requiring mechanical skills and strategic thinking, yet it lacks the physical demands of sport like football or basketball. This places Counter-Strike in a distinct class of games, alongside strategy-heavy games like chess or poker, where skill, patience, and composure alternate to determine the outcome. Despite its simplicity, Counter-Strike has had occasional updates that momentarily shift the meta. For example, the brief period when the SG-553 received a buff led players to choose it over the AK-47, creating a small meta shift. But such events are rare, and they don't usually disrupt the fundamental balance of the game. Those changes are more of an exception, as Counter-Strike doesn't a recurrent balancing adjustment to keep the game competitive. Map design is another factor that makes Counter-Strike net interesting. Unlike symmetrical maps in games where both teams have identical objectives, Counter-Strike is asymmetric. One team plays as terrorists, and the other as counter-terrorists with different goals. Counter-terrorists must defend bomb sites, while terrorists need to plant the bomb at one of these sites. To account for this, the game balances the asymmetric nature by making terrorist weapons cheaper, thus the advantages counter-terrorists have in defending. However, this asymmetry creates slight imbalance on certain maps. Win rates might vary by a few percentage points depending on the site, and even a small difference can have a big impact over many rounds, especially at the highest level of play. This is why Counter-Strike includes a side-switching rule, where teams swap sides mid-game to ensure fairness across both halves. This rule of switching sides is unique to video games. It's similar to the rules in sport like beach volleyball. Played on beaches, where the wind can favor one side, beach volleyball players switch sides to negating advantage. In Counter-Strike, this practice encourages fairness, offering both teams a shot at each side's strengths and weaknesses. In conclusion, Counter-Strike strives without a complex meta, offering a straightforward skill-based experience in a world full of rapidly evolving game mechanics. Counter-Strike's simplicity has allowed it to remain a consistent staple in competitive gaming for over 2 decades. By stripping away randomness and unnecessary complexity, It offers some experience that feels fair and timeless. The game has evolved, but it never stayed far from its core principles, and why it has endured. In the end, Counter-Strike is about fair play, pure skill, and the thrill of outsmarting and outplaying opponents through experience and mastery. This focus on the balance, both in gameplay and design, has given it a unique place in gaming history. Proves that sometimes less really is more.